He lied to save us. That's not a metaphor. The Sumerians wrote it down, pressed it into wet clay almost 4,000 years ago, baked it in the sun, and buried it in a temple archive where it stayed until the British Museum dug it back up in the 19th century. A god in a room full of gods, swearing an oath of silence, and then breaking it through a technicality the lawyers of Babylon would have admired. The humans were going to be erased, all of them. Every city, every field, every name. The gods had voted. One god in the room didn't argue, he just waited. His name appears on more surviving Sumerian tablets than any other deity. 2 of his lies are recorded in detail. One of them saved the human species. The other took something from us we were never supposed to lose. Around 1700 BCE, in the old Babylonian period, a scribe sat down and copied a story that was already old. The tablet has a name now, Atra-ḥasīs. It survives in fragments, but enough of it remains to read. The figure the scribe was writing about wasn't the king of the gods. It was the one with the workshop, the one academic translations have been quietly softening for the better part of a century, because what he actually does on the tablets doesn't read like theology. It reads like a record. The gods, the tablet says, have decided to wipe out humanity. There's been a council, there's been a vote, and there has been an oath. The text says this part plainly, that none of them will warn the people below. Silence, sworn under divine penalty. One god in the room doesn't argue. He doesn't object. He waits. His name is Enki, Lord of the freshwater abyss, the one who designed the humans in the first place. That night, in a reed hut in a city the gods are about to drown, a man named Atrahasis is asleep against the wall. His wife is asleep next to him. The river is high. The air is heavy. Outside, somewhere over the marsh, the first clouds are forming. Enki doesn't appear to him. Enki doesn't speak to him. He speaks to the wall. The tablet preserves the words. Wall, hear me. Read, wall. Pay attention to all my words. Leave the house. Build a boat. Abandon your possessions. Save your life. The man on the other side of the wall happens to be listening. And that, technically, is not a violation of the oath. It's the oldest surviving record of a lie told for the right reasons. He didn't break the oath, he worked around it. And the stakes were the extinction of the human species. But it wasn't the first time he'd worked a loophole. Centuries of older tablets describe the same god doing the same thing in much smaller rooms. There's a separate tablet, older than Atrahasis. It's called Enki and Minma. It's a creation story, not the one you've heard. In this one, the humans already exist. Enki and the birth goddess Ninma are at a banquet, and they are, the text says explicitly, drunk. They make a bet. Whoever can shape the more impossible creature from clay wins. The loser has to find that creature a place in human society. Ninma goes first. She shapes 6, a man whose hands won't move, a blind man, a man whose feet are crippled, a man who can't hold his water, a woman who can't bear children, a person with no sex organs at all. For each one, Enki finds a role. Courtier, musician, temple servant. Then it's Enki's turn. He shapes a creature called Umul. It can't stand, it can't eat, it can't speak, it can barely breathe. Minma looks at it and cannot assign it a fate. She curses him. The banquet ends. The oldest creation account on Earth describes its creator as drunk in a workshop, making people for a bet. Read enough of these tablets and a pattern starts to surface. Enki isn't a trickster. Sumerian literature has tricksters. He isn't one of them. The pattern is more specific. Enki gives humans things. Then he withholds the last thing. The clearest case is a man named Adapa. According to the tablets, Adapa is the first human Enki teaches directly. He is the first of 7 figures called the Apkallu, the Abgal in Sumerian, sages who come up out of the water at Eridu, half fish and half man, and teach humanity writing, mathematics, astronomy, and law. The tablets describe them rising at dawn and returning to the sea at sunset. The same image appears in Babylonian, Assyrian, and Greek sources across more than 1,000 years. One day, Adapa breaks the wings of the south wind. The sky god Anu summons him to the heavens to answer for it. Before he goes, Enki gives him advice. When they offer you bread and water in the heavens, do not eat, do not drink. It is the bread and water of death. Adapa obeys. But Anu, the tablet says, offers him the bread and water of life, immortality. Adapa refuses it, exactly as instructed, and returns to Earth a mortal. The standard reading, the one in textbooks, is that this is a story about humanity's mischance at eternal life. It isn't. Read the tablet again. The withholding is deliberate. Enki, the god who created humans, is the one who steered his most gifted student away from the offer. It wasn't a story about a mischance. It was a story about a second lie. This one told to the human, not the gods. And once you see that pattern, the giving and the withholding, the strangest object in the entire Sumerian record starts to make a different kind of sense. On a tablet older than most of the Hebrew Bible, the goddess Inanna sails downriver to Eridu. She is going to visit Enki at his temple. There is a banquet waiting. There is also, on the tablet, the same word that keeps appearing whenever Enki gets into trouble: drunk. He gives her something. Then he gives her something else. Then he keeps giving. One by one, across the length of the tablet, he hands over every single one. When he sobers up the next morning, he sends his servants after her boat. They fail. Inanna sails them home to Uruk. And that, the tablet says, is where civilization is now. What she stole has a name, the Me, written with a single cuneiform sign, pronounced somewhere between me and meh, depending on which Assyriologist you ask. Academic translations call them divine decrees. That phrase does a lot of work to keep the strangeness down, because the way the scribes wrote about the Me isn't abstract at all. They are things. They can be held, carried, stolen. One tablet lists more than 100. Kingship, priesthood, truth, falsehood, the craft of the scribe, the craft of the smith, the art of music, the art of war. Only about 60 are still readable. The others were on the parts that broke. The same Sumerian word in agricultural texts means procedure. The procedure for brewing a specific beer. The procedure for irrigating a specific field. A method, an executable plan. If you take the scribes at their word, and they copied this for 2,000 years without changing it, they are describing civilization as a set of transferable instructions, not ideas, instructions, stored by one God, capable of being moved. None of this is fringe. The Atra-ḥasīs tablet sits in the British Museum. The Enki and Ninmah text is in the electronic corpus of Sumerian literature at Oxford. The Adapa fragments come from Ashurbanipal's library at Nineveh, and the Egyptian archive at Tel El Amarna. Two independent finds 1,200 miles apart, separated by roughly 700 years. The Apkallu show up in 3 independent sources: ritual tablets from the 1st millennium BCE, a king list from Uruk dated to 165 BCE, and a Babylonian priest named Berosus, who wrote them down for a Greek audience around 280 BCE while working from his temple's archive. The 3 accounts agree. What's still being argued, quietly, in academic journals is what to do with the precision. None of it is described the way mythology is described. It's described the way you write something down when you don't want to lose the details. The way you write a record, not a myth. And the man asleep against the reed wall, the one who happened to be listening, built the boat.